Welcome to the Cinemagic Preview Show. This week we'll be reviewing Martha Stevens' coming-of-age drama To the Stars.
I want you to try to stress him, okay? This is your boy catcher.
Ain't you run late for school?
Yes, Daddy.
All right, get going.
Leave me alone.
Let me hold your butt.
She in the right position now, Maggie. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Get back into that truck, farm boy. Move it! Move it!
Come on!
Move it!
Get in!
Are you okay?
Maggie, we know you're new and all, but it is essential you stay away from Iris Dearborn. She's social suicide.
As opposed to suicide, which wouldn't be as embarrassing. Met a woman today. Her daughter Clarissa is quite popular. She can help Maggie meet some really nice girls.
Your daddy must have done something to land you all in Wakita. Was it gambling?
Is that what your daddy did?
Go see who's talking.
It's Maggie.
Who's Maggie?
My friend. Thanks for picking me up for school. Oh, you shouldn't thank me. Because we're ditching.
I'm legally blind.
Well, then you won't get arrested.
Hey, what are you doing?
You look different without your glasses. Need a ride today.
That's okay, but she don't need your pity.
She doesn't need my pity. She just needs a ride.
Who is this angel before me?
What did you do to yourself?
Francie, lay off.
Don't tell me how to mind my child.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father,
We thank you for the many blessings that you have given us.
That's enough for you now. Let me have that.
You're a liar. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me.
Honey, you think this girl is your friend. And I can tell you, there was something not right with that girl.
People in a small town, they don't want to know. They don't need to know everything.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
It's okay.
Get out. Get out of my pond!
Where's Maggie?
are you her friend?
I am her friend.
We don't care if she was bad.
She was never bad.
What do our young Cinemagic reviewers think?
Hi, I'm Charlotte Cleary, and today I'm going to be reviewing To the Stars. Set in 1961 in Oklahoma, the shy Iris, who has been ridiculed and is therefore outlawed or marginalized by her community, befriends a newcomer called Maggie, who, with Maggie, she forms a bold and empowering friendship. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a very fresh take on a coming-of-age film. It was very sensitive and complex. Without giving too much away, the girls, Maggie and Iris, kind of form a star-crossed friendship because their home lives aren't like perfect. I thought it was quite cool that they turned some stereotypes on their head, where Iris's mother was kind of like an East of Eden, the mother in East of Eden, John Steinbeck's novel, character, where she was the one who was like harsh and like always berating Iris instead of being like the father, and Iris is connected like to her father more, and he was like more warm, whereas like the opposite in Maggie's home. I thought that was like a nice parallel they had. They both encourage each other to become better people and transform themselves while still staying true to their like true character, and not just changing yourself to fit in, but to change yourself to be better. I thought that was very well written, and the characters were very like well portrayed, and that's due to the amazing writing by writer Shannon Bradley Collery, I believe. It was very good, but it's also partially due to, well, not partially due, it's also like due to the amazing cast of actors led by Hayward and Liana Liberato, who played Iris and Maggie. Thought they were amazing as the two leading ladies. They shone through the whole script and brought it to life but also brought to life by the amazing ensemble of actors that led the whole community of the small town. But also living in the town, it was set in the 60s, so it's very different from what like our world looks like now. And just experiencing like the sets and the costumes and the makeup and the hair and the props, everything looked period, like perfect to the period, spot on. And the dialogue didn't seem too modern. There was no like expressions from nowadays that I thought didn't fit in. It was all like very well tailored, again to the great writing and great cinematography too. I thought there were some cool shots, very well composed, and they worked with the muted like pastel color palette of the film. Redemptive theme of friendship like ran strong through it. It was a very complex and sensitively portrayed coming of age film. So all in all, I thought it was very well written, a great cast to lead the story, and a great direction from Martha Stevens, like a great film. Probably a 4.5 out of 5. I really liked it.
My name is Kerr, and this is the Cinemagic preview show. The film we're reviewing today is Martha Stevens' drama To the Stars. One of the best things about the film is its ability to convey a strong sense of place. The setting of Oklahoma is so pivotal to the story, and the cinematography presents this through a beautiful, vivid colour scheme that often contrasts to the distress that the characters are going through. There are wide open fields, and it almost suggests freedom that the characters may or may not ultimately achieve. One of the things I really love about the film is just the dynamic between the two main characters. We have two female leads who are very contrasting. We have Iris, who's very shy and unpopular, and then we have Maggie, who comes in from out of town. She's a city girl, and she breathes a real sense of life into the film. I really enjoyed the performance by Liana Liberato. She is probably the most entertaining thing about the film, and we really invest and believe in the character of Maggie. Maggie's really strong, and the way she defends Iris against a whole host of obstacles during the film is really admirable, and we really grow to back her character. Although the core of the story is really about the two girls' friendship, as the film progresses it becomes quite convoluted and a series of subplots and secondary characters are introduced, but they're not really given the time on screen to develop any further, so we don't really invest in them, and it really affects the character's growth. For example, Iris, who's one of our main characters, has quite bizarre character traits, and it almost makes it hard for us to sympathise with her because it just is so distracting from the main story. Another problem is with the theme of sexuality. There's quite a significant plot point that's introduced regarding this, but it happens far too late in the film and it's not really given enough time for it to have the impact that it could have had. The idea of introducing sexuality into a story about 1960s Oklahoma was radical and it could have been really effective, but it just doesn't seem to hit the mark. We're not really given the time for it to develop and for us to empathise with the characters on screen. The film does also suffer quite significantly from a lack of resolution. So many plot points have been introduced, but we're not really given the satisfaction of seeing any of them to the end. The film is quite ambitious and could have been a great story, but I find it just fails to make its point. It would have been really nice to see the friendship develop further and just focus solely on the girls' experience rather than introducing so many other storylines into the film. For that reason, I'm going to give the film 2 out of 5. It was visually beautiful and it was an entertaining watch, but I just find there was too many flaws in the actual storyline to give it any more.
Hi, my name is Elishka and this is the Cinemagic preview show. I'd say this film would fit into the category of a coming of age story. The film is produced by the film house Samuel Goldwyn, which mainly produces art house and independent films, and To the Stars is certainly that. The narrative is female-centric and plays on classic female film tropes such as the makeover scene where the ugly character is dolled up and sees herself in a more confident light. That being said, it also runs a nuanced undertone of what living in a small-minded town in the South in the 1960s as a member of the LGBTQ community might have been like back then. I really enjoyed the aesthetic of the film. When it was first released at Sundance, it was actually shown in black and white footage first, but then they later decided to release it in colour, and I'm really glad that they did because the thematic contrasts of the cinematography really shone through. The juxtaposition of the bleak and dusty southern town with pops of 60s fashion and then red lipstick, it really suited the harsh and upbeat moments of the film. The downside to the film, I would say maybe the plot points were just a little bit predictable. I think the two main characters were really well written and very well performed as well. But there could have been a little bit of room of development for them, I would think. And because it was predictable, I think that some of the moments in the film were a bit cringy. In terms of film craft, whilst the cinematography might have pointed towards a darker and bleaker tone, the soundtrack of the film really uplifted it and gave it a more hopeful and lighthearted feeling to the piece as well. I think this film is very suitable for the whole family. It's an important female and LGBTQ story, and I think it would be enjoyable for everyone to watch. I would give it 3 out of 5 stars.
Our Industry Corner guest this week is Alison Crinion from the Industry Trust for IP Awareness.
My name is Alison Crinion and I am the Communications Director with the Irish Industry Trust for IP Awareness. Industry funded, our main aim is to address the ongoing challenge of the film and TV industry around the areas of copyright infringement. And we want to inspire audiences to value the amount of time, effort and energy that goes into the creative process of filmmaking and watch their content via legitimate sources. Well, I think everyone deserves to get paid for the job that they do. So to put it into context, next time you watch a movie or a TV show, watch the end credits and just be in awe of the amount of people that it took to create this TV show, this movie, and think about that as an employer. So all of these people who worked on this film, they deserve to get paid. If this film gets pirated, if this TV show gets pirated, that stops the money stream coming in, no more jobs, no more TV show. So if we want to keep enjoying great films, we need to pay for our content. Absolutely, 100%. In my opinion, the biggest challenge facing the industry is the struggle of the independent movie. The first or second time director, the fresher faces, the newer voices, films that have a budget of 5 million or less, because these films really struggle to get made. It takes a lot of financing, a lot of juggling, a lot of supports from government agencies, a lot of putting your house for a second mortgage, a lot of different supports from friends and family to get these small films made, and then hard to get them into cinemas, and then even harder to inspire an audience to go and take a gamble on a small independent movie. So I urge you all, go see a small independent movie. You will uncover a gem, a classic, something amazing. Think of a movie like Monty Python's Holy Grail, made on a shoestring and now is considered a very iconic comedy movie. But look closer to home, things like A Date for Mad Mary, The Young Offenders, Black 47. These films were really embraced by audiences at local movie theatres, and it really made for an opportunity for many more people to get the next film and the next job. Fantastic. Support small films. It's a big challenge for the industry. Absolutely not. One of the great things that's happened for me over my 6 years in this role is the advent and the growth of Netflix, Hulu, Sky TV, all of those amazing platforms that give legitimate content sources. I find it really inspiring that I can direct audiences to legal content. It's amazing. It's a great thing for the industry. I applaud the advancements in technology, and I think that it gives us a clearer message and direction toward legal content sources. Put a value on the content that you make. You deserve to get paid for your work. You deserve for your work to be seen. You deserve to progress in this industry. So the most basic thing that you can do is protect your work. Password protect your work, particularly if entering your work, your content, your baby, your beautiful movie into competitions, festivals, even sharing amongst each other. Password protected. Don't feel that because you're sending peer-to-peer or within the industry that everything will be fine. Work can just find its way, shares and shares and shares, which we all want our work to be seen, but suddenly it can be on an illegal website, it can be shared to somebody who's going to rip off your work and your ideas. So protect and value your work. Every piece of content you make as a creator is important. I would also say go to the Industry Trust for IP Awareness.co.uk. We have a wonderful resources page, also lovemovies.ie, also IFTN, and keep up to date with things that are changing. Whether it's legalities, whether it's just new ways of sharing, whether it's just new pieces of legislation that are going to assist you. Don't wait for someone else to tell you. Be curious. Stay up to date with current trends, with current things that are happening. I cannot say enough good things about MPA. They're great supporters of the Trust. We're great supporters of them. Check out our I Make Movies content. You'll find that on lovemovies.ie. We're here to support young filmmakers. I can't wait to see what you guys do next. So thank you very much for your time. My name is Alison Crinion. I work for the Industry Trust for IP Awareness, and this is the Cinemagic Preview Show.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.